Hello everybody. Right, we've just read George's Marvellous Medicine by Roald Dahl, and now I thought we might start this book. It's called BFG. It's by Roald Dahl again. I like the way they've written his name. Actually, that way around. There you go. There's the roll at the top and the Dahl that way. Okay. Now we're going to have this book as one of our text drivers next half term, bit towards the end, but it's quite a long book, so I thought maybe it would be good to start it so that when we come to explore it together as a class, we know what's going on. So, are you ready? Chapter 1 is called The Witching Hour. Sophie couldn't sleep. A brilliant moonbeam was slanting through the gap in the curtains, and it was shining right onto her pillow. The other children in the dormitory had been asleep for hours. Now, a dormitory is like a very big room where lots of people sleep together. You often get them in schools, probably a long time ago, but probably still some schools have dormitories. That's a school where you'd go and live, a boarding school. Sophie closed her eyes and lay quite still. She tried very hard to doze off, but it was no good. The moonbeam was like a silver blade slicing through the room onto her face. The house was absolutely still. No voices came up from downstairs. There were no footsteps on the roof above either. The window behind the curtain was wide open, but nobody was walking on the pavement outside. No cars went by on the street. Not the tiniest sound could be heard anywhere. Sophie had never known such a silence. There's a picture. Perhaps, she told herself, this was what they called the witching hour. The witching hour, somebody had once whispered to her, was a special moment in the middle of the night when every child and every grown-up was in a deep, deep sleep, and all the dark things came out from hiding and had the world to themselves. The moonbeam was brighter than ever on Sophie's pillow, and she decided to get out of bed and close the gap in the curtains. You got punished if you were caught out of bed after lights out. Even if you said you had to go to the lavatory, that was not accepted as an excuse, and they punished you just the same. But there was no one about now. Sophie was sure of that. She reached out for her glasses that lay on the chair beside her bed. They had steel rims and very thick lenses, and she could hardly see a thing without them. She put them on, and then she slipped out of bed and tiptoed over to the window. When she reached the curtains, Sophie hesitated. She longed to duck underneath them and lean out the window to see what the world looked like now that the witching hour was at hand. She listened again. Everywhere it was deathly still. The longing to look out became so strong she couldn't resist it. Quickly, she ducked under the curtains and leaned out of the window. In the silvery moonlight, the village street she knew so well seemed completely different. The houses looked bent and crooked, like houses in a fairy tale. Everything was pale and ghostly and milky white. Across the road she could see Mrs. Rance's shop, where you bought buttons and wool and bits of elastic. It didn't look real. There was something dim and misty about that too. Sophie allowed her eyes to travel further and further down the street. Suddenly, she froze. something coming up the street on the opposite side. It was something black, something tall and black, something very tall and very black and very thin. I hope you enjoyed that chapter. Our next one's called Who? I'm not going to read that today. You'll have to wait till tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye.